Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the first ever episode of EOMM Terrorism. Today is a very special episode because we are actually inspecting this 8 and 16 Scarlet Witch, Squirrel Girl, and Cloak and Dagger main. That's a Twitch streamer and TikToker with more emotion than me that came into my chat and called me ass after throwing the absolute fuck out of my elo. So let's figure out what the fuck actually went down here. So I'm actually going 7-0 right here, carrying the first team to the first checkpoint, and she decides to press Q, knowing they have a Magneto Iron Man, and knowing they both have their ults. We calmed this out, and she pressed Q non-defensively and got destroyed, and also had horrible positioning. She could have went anywhere else that was way better, and actually communicated with the team that she was going to ult, so that maybe we could have saved her life, but no. Like a moth to a flame, folks, we're back in the same position, and if you do the same thing multiple times, expecting different results, that could be called clinically insane. And it looks like Deja Vu here, she does the same thing. Now this time she tries a little bit harder, but she doesn't come, and she also doesn't use it defensively. There was no reason to press Q. Actually, pre-lobotomization, she probably would have turned this corner and went around this giant frog rock, or, like I said to her in comms, go forward a little bit and then go back so that you're behind me, and I can bubble the Maggles. Crazy how that works, right? That's crazy. So we end up running triple support to compensate. She gets a good ult off here. She actually lives, but unfortunately we don't get any farther because my other tank is going 10 and 7 while I'm 24 and 3. So in the second half here, we decided to put the two people who are selling the most on DPS. So Cat TTV goes DPS, goes Squirrel Girl, even though we asked for a Punisher. And we told the other guy to play a hit scan too because the Iron Man is going crazy and she gets absolutely rolled and swaps immediately back to Cloak and Dagger. Like Deja Vu here, ladies and gentlemen, their Emma popped their ult. She takes cover, very smart here, and decides to pop her ult as well. Now stop. You might think, oh, the Magneto's ulting. What's the best play for me to do to actually, like, survive? Most of my team is in my ult. We can stabilize here as long as I go into this room and take cover. You would be mistaken because she goes back in a complete 180 circle and gets absolutely dunked on. So Purple No Kid, going 20 and 7, our Iron Man, is done with it. He's like, let me play Cloak and Dagger, you play DPS, and try your best to deal with the Iron Man, but don't play Squirrel Girl. Guess who she pulls out her bag? She pulls out Iron Man. And look what happens here. She runs into a brick wall and falls over. And here's her attempt number 2 to go for the Iron Man. Same thing happens again. I don't know where her positioning is, I don't know what her thought process is, but there's not much going on up there in her brain, and she dies. Then again, she decides to play some backline Scarlet Witch, hyper dive Scarlet Witch, and she falls over once again. That's 0 for 4 without value. And ladies and gentlemen, you can guess what happens here. The game ends right here. She dies for the 16th time, going 8 and 16, then proceeds to come in my chat as I'm going 26 and 7 and calling me dog shit. That concludes the first episode, ladies and gentlemen. By the way, this is a fully grown ass woman who probably has 4 to 5 years of life experience on me, acting like a child, coming to my chat and talking shit. Now listen, if you're gonna talk shit and come to my chat and be disrespectful, at least be good at the game. That's a bare minimum requirement. And if you see her in your game, good luck, buckle up, and ready for the trifecta of dog shit.